So today we're going to be teaching you guys how to play some Twisted Fate mid lane. Since everybody was requesting it, we're going to basically write down how to play Twisted Fate in the mid lane and how to be able to conquer all your games regardless of the elos. Because personally, Twisted Fate is one of my favorite characters. He's a character that I first got famous playing a long time ago. And we're going to basically show you how to play it the way I do. Even with the new nerfs through his E and his Q base damage nerfs, he's still pretty much one of the strongest picks regardless of who the enemy player picks. So first things first, I'm just going to show off basically how the game works for those of you who are just watching the video without any context of the game. So simply said, there's 2 teams of 5 players. And then each player goes into a certain lane, being top lane, jungle, mid lane, bot lane. So we're talking about mid lane today. So whenever the game first starts, there's going to be 2 waves of minions that are going to meet right here, right in the middle of the lane. And the objective for each player is to destroy this thing by destroying towers and eventually ending the game. Now when it comes to macro play, here let me just zoom in on the image here. Macro play. We want to do our best to make sure that the wave is frozen regardless of where it is. The best 2 places to freeze the wave, say we're on blue side here, is to have the wave either frozen dead in the middle or to have it frozen right here, so that way it's barely out of tower range, but you're safe enough to where you're really hard to get ganked. But it also gives your jungler plenty of potential to gank. Now, if neither team were to ever touch a wave, the wave will always stay right in the middle until the game automatically picks a victor. Because it will do that. The game will automatically pick a victorious team. It happens a lot if you play bot games or if you play custom games and you just go all mid lane like we used to back in the day before they made the Hollowing Abyss. You would just go all in the mid lane and then all of a sudden one of your lanes would be winning and the other lane would be completely losing with no characters or no enemy champions in the lane. It's because the game automatically decides a victor. So now we've got the basic setup here of how the game works. Let's go dive into a video real quick. And we'll show you how these ideas apply in the game itself.
Transformation complete.
So as far as runes go, you're going to want to do Unsealed Spellbook, Perfect Timing, Minion Demoralizer, and Cosmic Insight. And then your secondaries are going to be Bone Plating and Unflinching. With your first one going to be an offensive for plus 10% attack speed. Your second part is going to be 9% adaptive force. And then your third part is going to depend on your lane or the overall team, which is going to be either your plus 8 magic resist or your plus 6 armor. Now as far as summoner spells go, I always go for teleport just to have the extra map awareness and the extra map presence. However, you can go for ignite if you really want to. Or somebody's mentioning going like either ghost or even smite. Although I wouldn't really recommend going Smite as like your base summoner spell. I mean, it could be useful, but I just never really saw one use for it. So as you can see, we get in the game here. We'll just spectate. As you can see, starting items, we always go with our Doran's Ring because I like
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Built into it. And then we go for 2 health pots for that little bit of sustain.
30 seconds until
Always
minions
pick our
spawn.
W's first, especially due to having team comps and certain elos that really like to basically they really like to invade sometimes, which this could apply to all of your Zelos as well, because I know in a lot of this game they really love to invade games, invade early levels. So as you can see, I'm sitting up right here. This is
Minions
a
have
3-point
spawned.
kind of setup, where usually they'll have a player sit right here at times, and most times it's gonna be like a top laner gonna sit right there, and then mid lane's gonna sit either here or here, bot lane will sit either here, or sometimes it'll sit here or there. But basically it's one thing just to see where the enemy players are. Because since this game is mostly about information processing, basically whoever has the most information available to them and be able to see where most of the players on the enemy team are, usually especially in the early stages of the game, usually end up being the victorious team. Especially in terms of being able to know what the enemy junglers at all times. That's why boards are so important, especially on like lower elos, and being able to process and pay attention to your mini-map. But anyways, while we're playing Twisted Fate, especially with this runes and this build we're going to play, it's incredibly important that whatever you do, just don't die in lane. Because as long as you don't die in lane, you will easily win this game. If you die a couple times, that's okay. Just don't get and remember, you can always use your W to last if you really want to. So right here, I'm trying to match it. We have a couple minions, but it's no big deal. Because honestly, I kind of want him to shove this. Because playing Cassidy means he has to walk up and hit. So if I can get that magical freeze thing and like right here, if I can get the magical freeze right in this area where I showed you all earlier, then he will always have to walk up to get minions. I mean, I will be in the advantage because I'm able to last hit better than he is due to having range, and I can always poke him down whenever he gets really close. Although, due to him pushing into me, he gets level 2 faster. Although Cassidy's level 2 is not very strong in terms of other characters in the game, so it's not really that big of a deal if he gets level 2 faster. It just means that he'll most likely hit level 3 faster if he continues to do the hard shoving. But overall, it's just not a great big deal. But it's just something to keep in mind if you're playing in other matchups like Yasuo or Zed or somebody else with a stronger level 2 all in. Just little small things to keep in mind. Another big mistake that a lot of players make in this game is that they will either try to dodge like every ability possible and they'll get a lot of CS, or they will tank every ability in the world to get CS. CS in this game is very important early on. However, it's one of those discretionary things to try to figure out what's worth taking. So for example, you'll see me take quite a few of these passing tools and on hit it there and not how that choice. But like I said, it's one of the things where I know it's not going to kill me, especially not this early in the game. So it's okay for me to take these shots. As long as I understand, like, that I can get draw-ins or having a HP defense. But as you can see, we're just kind of playing it slow. The Soul is taking the bot lane due to like I said, just make sure you don't die. It's okay to blow flash when you have unsealed spellbook, because unlike them, you have more stomach stuff. Whereas we got Kassadin's Ignite, so that's fine by us. Basically, all I'm trying to get at is just try not to die as little as possible whenever you're playing this character. You just want to get your items, which is the way it is like unlocked. And where you're all in is not very strong early on, like other characters it's just important just to use wave management and basically use the last hit, try your best to just poke at them and just control the wave and make sure you're able to set up good trades, set up good placement for your team. That is most important. Basically the point of TS, a lot of heroes is all about your team. You yourself cannot really carry so hard unless you have full hand build. However, you're able to get your teammates insanely far ahead due to your incredible pick mechanics. So where your gold card is basically an instant stun, because it's a lock-on ability. That allows for your team to be able to get easy picks, especially once you get inspired. I highly recommend it, regardless of if you're ahead or not. Always get rapid fire cannons, second or third. And that item is going to be your bread and butter for pick player on the extended range it gives. Which is one mistake I see a lot of TS players not doing. Is don't go for Lichbane second or go for a zone third. Even though those are both really good items, I highly recommend doing rapid fire cannons second due to the extended range and being able to increase poke. So you see in this point in the game, we always buy boots first because we want that extra movement speed, especially in their team where it's a Kassadin and a Shaco. We really want the movement speed to be able to hopefully dodge some abilities and get out of some sticky situations. But as you're noticing, we're ahead of Kassadin as well as CS right now. Which is always a good thing. It's always really good at it. Regardless of what position you play. As long as you get CS, moving kills and damage, you're doing pretty good because it means you've won the lane without even having to kill him. So as you can see, bot lane's pretty pushed up. So we're going to go in for a gank because if you see here, he's pushed in, he can't go anywhere because he doesn't have teleport. So the only way he could do this is if he would have to ult bot lane, which would waste a lot of his mana. So by the time he got down there, he wouldn't be able to do anything. Lux is a little low. Jhin is pretty low. Sona is pretty low on both. She's low on mana. And Ezreal is decently high on mana and health. So in this case, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good choice to gank this lane because there's a high probability of winning the fight. Another big mistake I see a lot of players making is that they will gank lanes where they don't go through all the possibilities of how the fight can go, and they'll gank unfit lanes. By unfit lanes, I mean, for example, if I were to say Kassadin was 2 levels ahead of me, and somebody was to gank, like this Lee Sin was to gank Kassadin while I had the same amount of health as Lux. That is an unfavorable gank. Even though it's a 2v1, him having 2 levels at full health against me with half health and really low mana makes that gank very, very unfavorable because there's a lot of possibilities to be thrown up in the air through that one gank. Which that gank could in turn, which I've seen it happen a lot, is that one gank will ruin any chance of a comeback for that lane. So it's better just to make these ganks there by behind them. As you can see, not really well in my favor. And then basically just leave. Instead of shoving out the wave even more with the team, just leave. I'll see it there. I get the panic. And I die. And there's nothing you can really do about that. Which that'll happen. You will die. Things like that. As long as you just make sure that you notice next time. Because everybody makes mistakes. And we're all humans. So as you can see here, he's ended up dying, so I just ended up saying forget it, don't worry about helping him out. Then we go back to lane, because now we're going to lane. Caston has 2 kills over us, so we still have some CS though. CS going, he will easily do those up to keep this game in the lane. Remember, even
suck you down.
Remember, as long as you do bob and weave your little auto attacks in and out, you're always likely to have it. Especially if you can throw a couple cards. We see our least enemy help, so we decide to go see what we can do to help him out. We decide to keep going. Go cards. Another interesting fact that you probably will never figure out is that whenever you throw his Q, even if you can't see enemy players, it will make a paper sound if it hits a target. So if it's minions and a player hits anything, you will always hear a sound. There's a small little bug or a little trick you will hear, and it will make you be able to know whether or not players are in bushes or if they're in areas you can't. If you use a magical paper sound, you'll hear a second on this castle, and you'll hear the sound if you listen very carefully. Here and there, the sound. That's what makes that sound effect every time you get either a character or a minion. So make that sound every time. Another good factoid that's always good is before you ult waves, you have time to always hard shove the wave, or whenever the enemy player is trying to back, hard shove the wave and use that time to either roam, or if you place deep vision in enemy jungles or in other parts of the map. Because as long as they're stuck on their tower, they can either choose between losing XP and trying to kill you or stop you from using vision, or losing the chance to deny vision and help their team to instead soak up this XP and possibly get the last hits depending on how good they are timing it right, depending on whether or not the tower is able to clear the wave before they can even run the lane. having trouble in the later stages of the game, trying to clear waves. A really good wave clear is red card and then game. Basically, you'll lose your red card in the middle wave and the back wave. Because many people don't know this, but level 9, your Q will always one-shot the back wave. So after level 9, try if you want to do hard shell, try to position it to where your Q will always hit the back wave. Make sure. A good time to throw a Q is right in that position right there from the hard shell. Because that way you hit every single target in a straight line. Pick up both the assists.
Blue team double
As you
kill.
can see, we've already got our jungler ahead quite a bit. 1 and 3, which at this stage in the game is actually pretty good because we just denied Kassadin a couple seconds of XP, and we are a couple, roughly 26 CS ahead of them, which is actually quite a bit of gold in turns. So you can see we finished our Everfrost and we finished our Ionian Boots of Lucidity. And then next up we're going straight for our Rapid Fire Cannon. Because that's going to be our item that we're going to rely on the most. Your core items are going to be Everfrost, Rapid Fire Cannon, and then Lichbane. And the other items you can build are optional. Most time I will not build Rabadons unless it's one of those things where they're all really, really squishy, and I know that I can. However, again, because it's mostly personal preference. But what you want to do at this stage of the game is basically just keep abusing your range against him and keep trying to get that CS lead as much as you
Turret plating will fall soon. Killing spree. Blue team double kill.
Destiny. Already gone.
Unstoppable.
Another good tip, as you can see, in a lot of my games, is just try not to overstay. Because playing this character, you don't want to be greedy. If you're greedy, you'll end up throwing the game and you'll blow every bit of lead you have. Because you don't do very much damage early on. So most time, like I've been trying to say, is most of your kill pressure and your game pressure is going to be utility and how you're able to take it. So you just want to try to play safe and get as much vision as you can for your team, while also roaming and helping your teammates get kills and making sure that the people on your team get as fed as possible.
is open.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Then basically, once you get mid lane turret done, you kind of just want to go with the side laning to get that solo XP. But always make sure to keep either teleport with you or your ult with you if you're going to be side laning. Easy kill.
No fighting destiny.
You don't want to use your gold card. Let's see what comes.
Blue team double kill.
That is the most important for the time. Now we're going to go into a training game just to basically show some small little tricks and explain a little bit more stuff. So like I said, here's our runes. Right here. Those are going to be our runes for this game. And then items we're going to run, or for summoners we're going to run teleport, flash. And then we're going to start off by showing the basics. Basically just like what happens whenever the wave first starts. And then we're gonna go up to basically showing how to freeze. Now another good tip you could always do if you have trouble last hitting with characters that are mages, like for example like LeBlanc or Ari or
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
you could always take Doran's Blade and 1 health pot as your starting item. That's helped me quite a bit, especially on characters.
30 seconds until minions
pros
spawn.
do that too at times, whenever they're playing mages. They take corrupting pot or it'll take a Doran's Blade. But now whenever it comes to freezing wave,
Charmed, I'm sure.
I'm going to show you what I mean by basically when I was talking
Minions
about
have
the game will
spawned.
automatically pick a victor. Because it'll do this. Because most of the time, the minions will be stronger if their enemy champion's near. However, if both
I
champions
reckon.
are away, the game will. This is what the freeze looks like. Where the minions are matched up, they're lined up together, and the lane just is frozen. It's not going anywhere. However, the game will eventually pick a winner. Like right now, it looks like my side's gonna be winning due to the minions
mind if
dying
I
on their
do.
team faster. Therefore, it's gonna shove into that tower eventually. But in order to make sure the wave is frozen, whenever you have any player pushing into it, you basically want to wait to the very last second,
It's my lucky day.
the last hit.
Ha.
By doing that, not only will it help you increase your CS count through the game, but
Eyes open.
freeze the wave. This
Always
is the case
on the
whenever
run.
whenever the enemy is not present. Whenever the enemy is present, in order to freeze the wave, you have to match the enemy.
Clear as day. Steal 'em.
I know I'm doing pretty terrible. But anyway, the point is, I'm going to show you the idea of what you want to do with it.
Hold it, partner.
Just going to wave shove that into the tower, and then you're going to want to try to place a ward. Good ward spots to place are here, 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 or even here.
Just the luck of the draw.
So by doing that, it gives your team and your jungler vision of this path, so it gives you time to get the heck out of there. Then on this side, it gives you vision of this entire river, so it helps your bot lane out. And it also helps, if you put it right here, it helps you see if you took blue. So I hope this
Doing it.
few tips and tricks helped you guys at all. Another interesting thing is, before I go, is that if you're laning against a game against like a Nocturne or a Tigger for her spell queue, if you want to make sure that you land the gold card, throw a Q before you throw the card. So like this, so the Q will hit before the gold card does. That way, because your Q will absorb the spell shield. Therefore, that your card will go through. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Smash a like or subscribe if you end up wanting to see more content about that, if we may go into more detail about something else. Well, I hope you all have a great rest of your night. Peace.